তারপর বলে সি গ্রেডের পরিষেবা করতে চান। এখানে আমার মনে একটা ভালো অভ্যাস আছে, যারা চিন্তা ভাবনা করছেন ভাবতে পারেন। আর আরেকটি জিনিসটা আমাদের খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ, অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ মনে হয়েছে, সরকারের ভাবনাটা এখন সেন্ট্রাল পয়েন্ট হিসেবে এসছে পাবলিক প্রাইভেট পার্টনারশিপ। আমরা সবাই অবগত আছি যে গত বাজেটে 80% খরচ করতে পারেনি। সরকারের সদিচ্ছাটা আমাদের প্রস্তুতি করা হচ্ছিল, যে এই পিপিপিটাকে আমরা কিভাবে করবো আমার কাছে খুব স্পষ্ট মনে হয়নি কিন্তু ওই উপস্থাপনায়। How can we make it more effective? এখানেও যথেষ্ট সুযোগ আছে। বাকি যেগুলো আছে এর সাথে আমি সম্পূর্ণ একদম শুরু করছি। In summary, let's not be very ambitious. Let's try to activate this information center phase by phase. And third, let's try to go for some operational plan and program in terms of PPP. And of course, let's try to be very creative. How can we link the innovation of ICT and related activities in our career planning for young professionals and civil servants? Thank you.
I think I can ask for a small clarification from Honorable Chaudhary in response to the comment that was made by Mr. Militan. In fact, we have gone for a piloting in how many portions?
Action.
So there is a kind of learning for that, and being encouraged with that learning, we have tried to, in fact, we have planned to go to 4,500 UT, and then basically comes in the PPP model, right?
I think to clarify,
I think it needs a kind of small clarification.
I think there are two things that we need to look at when we consider why we are going after the 4,500 all union purishods in the country. We've had discussions about going after the Purushabhas, going after the municipalities, but I think what the 4,500 represents to us is the three reasons, I would say. The first reason is that we want to target the marginalized first. So there is going to be some failures, some, as you've seen, some centers may actually not sustain themselves, some will actually shut down or resurrect in a new form. And those things will happen, but we want to get to the grassroots first. That's one big reason. Second is that we did a three-step pilot. The first pilot was done in 2 union purishods, the second was done in 30 union purishods, and the third pilot was done in 100 union purishods. So we've actually gathered a fair bit of experience in terms of what works and what doesn't. And the important criteria there is public-private partnership seems to be the only way to sustain these centers in the long run. So the way the public-private partnership currently is working is the local entrepreneur, the 2 entrepreneurs in each union, who's actually coming in and will be running these centers. So in 100, where we've seen this, the entrepreneurs are running them. So in some cases, they do their own investment. In other cases, they may not do investments, but they are not paid. So these are not paid employees of the union purishods or the government. So these are, in truest sense of the word, entrepreneurship. The equipments are coming from 2-3 different sources. The local government institutions are buying them. The central government is buying them through various means. The block grants from LGSP is being used in some cases. So it's a mixed model. From the A2I program, we're also doing some financing of content. So the digital content, the content that will be used there, that's actually being developed centrally through some central financing. And the third thing I think that's important to understand here is that the scale of 4,500 shops, the possibility of having 4,500 shops which don't need rent has created enormous opportunities for private sector service providers. I'll give you a few examples. We just had a discussion with Modern Herbal. They do about 8 crores of business every month, selling videos and herbal products and stuff. So they want these 9,000 entrepreneurs to become their agents. Jivan Bima Corporation, they want these 9,000 entrepreneurs to become their agents in the rural areas to sell insurance. Banglalink, Grameen Phone, they want various services to be channeled to these entrepreneurs. So 100 union purishods would not have given us that kind of scale. So as we have seen the example of telecenters in our country and other countries, this kind of statement has been unforeseen. So we have to think at a very different level. So we are looking at it from a very business point of view, and I think many of these, I would say most of these will sustain themselves, some will fail. I mean, that's the nature of business. We are looking at it as a business concern. Thank you.
I think you were, she's my pastor, so you see, so my pastor, there is their own countries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. But what I was actually trying to, sort of indicate to you is that, one professor has already spoken, so I can give me a turn later on. So thank you very much for giving me the floor. Actually, I am quite excited by what I hear today. We have heard rhetorics like this before for turning Bangladesh into a digital Bangladesh. But what I learned today is that it's actually on the way to being a digital Bangladesh. And more importantly, as a teacher of public administration and governance, what I feel excited about is that we are now talking about, through this, talking about interactive governance here, where the demand side and the supply side get together in bringing up the efficiency, the effectiveness of government, which is very exciting, which is very, very important. Of course, here what we need is policy, we need skill development, a policy with a plan that can be implementable, doable, as Mr. Chairman has said, and where all the issues of prioritizing, phase-wise implementation, how many we take, how many we don't take, in that direction, I think this process of involving the Union Commission, which is at the lowest level of governance, I would say, through a pilot and actually getting the feel that it is possible, it is implementable. I have also, as Professor Zaman has mentioned, I have also been working with local government for a long time, and I always felt that they are ready to respond. So I think this is a very good finding. Of course, skill development through training. We have to carefully, very, very carefully, manage and actually plan and manage the training program, not forgetting the demand side as well. And also, one thing which does not come up, did not come up in this, but I don't think that there was any scope of saying that. But I think at times it's important to mention the gender side of things, because, we always think this is a cross-cutting theme. But I think wherever it is applicable, we should mention that. This is just on the side, and I wanted to mention this. But I think skill development is something which we can take up, and I think here PPP also may play a very important role, because as far as I know, my information goes, a lot of NGOs are providing very good training to UPs which are under special programs for strengthening, decentralization, etc., are already getting these kind of training. So, there should be a coordination with that. Hardware, of course, is important, and I think connectivity in this context, including connectivity, is very, very important. As a teacher and student, I should say, of management and governance, I think one of the keys for efficient and effective governance is communication. And now we are talking about how do we make communication effective, both from top to bottom and bottom upwards. In this context, I would say that feedback is extremely important. What we saw today is a set of information that is being posted at the district DC's office, which is very important for us. And then if we want to, we can go into a website and get information about my status as a landowner or property owner, etc. But we have to also build into the system, how do I give a feedback? How do I say that, this has been difficult for me to get maybe a different kind of information, some more cells would have added to this, would have given me more information. So I think we should always keep in mind the demand side and how feedback can be brought up through this process.